Hey everybody, one more time for some math. What do you say? Hey, this is the last video of the week, I promise. You should be on to the mid-chapter checkpoint. Hopefully the homework page went okay for the dividing by whole numbers. Again, big time just a review of the process of long division and how we can use estimates and things to help us with those larger problems. Today you got the mid-chapter checkpoint. I'm just going to kind of go through it real quick. Promise this won't be as long a video as usual. Just to point out a few things as you go. Okay, so this is page 315 and 316. First of all, skip 1 and 2. Let's just get down to business here. Don't worry about explaining all this. Let's just skip through that, and we're going to go right into this. I really just want to go through and point out a couple things with this as we get going. Okay, so if we go down to 3, 4, and 5, this is a completing the pattern, which is like the very first lesson we did with those patterns with dividing decimals. Okay, and they kind of all follow the same pattern, well, whether it's exponents or whole number powers of 10. With all of these, we're going to start off, if we're dividing by 1, of course, that number is going to stay the same. So here, 223 divided by 1 is going to be still 223. Then if we divide by 10, remember, we're not working out any long division with this now. We're just thinking about where those decimals are. If I had the number 223 as a whole number like this, we can put a 0 here. We can just think about that decimal being at the end of the things, at the end of the 3. And then if we're going to divide by 1 power of 10, 1 0 tells us to move 1 decimal to the left, and we're dividing by a 10, so it should get smaller. So that means that decimal is going to go here, and we're going to have 22 and 3/10. Okay, so then as the pattern continues, just remember from that first lesson we did, we have 22 and 3/10, and we have 223 with a decimal. We're going to go 2 places, 1, 2 places, so we should have 2 and 23/100ths there, and we divide by 100. And then finally, as we work through it again, we take 223, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 places because my 1000 has 3 zeros. And again, this is just how those patterns work. One thing we can do to make sure we're getting really quick and good with it. So our final number here would be 0 and 223,000. Okay, so there you go on that one. Other stuff on this page, number 6, 7, and 8, it says estimate the quotient. So here we're going to say use compatible numbers. Okay, make sure you do that. Make sure you use that compatible numbers strategy, and we're going to do mental math with these. Okay, we're estimating, big thing there. Make sure we are doing the estimate. Okay, then number 9, 10, and 11. That's where we're actually going to divide. So just answer those questions there. And then as we get to the back page, we get into some word problems, okay? So just to point out a couple of things with that. Number 12 is just like the first lesson. It's a patterns of division. We are finding an actual answer here, but we're not going to have to work anything out. We're just going to have to think of these patterns of division. So we're taking 440 pounds of flour, and we're dividing them into 1,000 loaves of bread. Make this a little bigger so we can see. So really all we're doing here is 440 divided by 1,000, which again, just to look back at the front page, that's like when we're doing these guys, like when we did 223 divided by 1,000, we should just be moving those decimal points. We're not really having to work anything out. We're just taking what we know about those patterns of division, okay? So there you can find an actual answer. Number 13 is going to be a division of whole numbers. We are trying to find the cost, so you can work that out. You can see how much money it costs for 5 students, and then you have the dividing by 5 to find the cost for each. Number 14 is an estimation problem. So they're asking us to estimate the length of one piece of wire here. If we have 62 and 4/10 divided by 3 equal pieces, we should be using 3 for our divisor. And then think about if we change 62 and 4/10 to a compatible number, we're just trying to estimate there. So just show me about how much so we can estimate. And that should get you through there. And then number 15, we have a multi-step problem, okay? It's not just as easy as divide the numbers. Here they tell us 2 amounts of ounces of granola and raisins, so she's making a nice yummy trail mix in this problem. So the first thing we need to do is add to find our total number of ounces. So we have 23 and 25/100 ounces of granola and 10 and 5/10 ounces of the raisins. So we need to add to find that total. and then divide that total by 15 servings, and then that would tell us how much trail mix is in each serving of this yummy trail mix that Elizabeth is making. Okay, that's about all I've got for you. I hope you guys do a good job on this. Again, I'll be available, and you'll have Friday as the catch-up day if it's all getting to be a little much. So just work your way through this, and you guys should be all set for the week dividing decimals by whole numbers. Once you get through this, you're done with math for the week. So I hope you have a great weekend coming up, and we'll get into some more things soon. Thanks, guys. See you soon.